Hello champions and future champions. Hello ChessMood family. Gabuzyan is here with you and we're beginning our daily lesson. Today we have a topic about heavy pieces, rooks on the 7th rank. Although we know this is a great power, we enjoy having these assets on the board, but what is the thing? The rooks itself are not gonna be able to checkmate opponent's king. And today we'll see some techniques. How are we going to help our rooks and destroy opponent's king's position? So at the moment, it is white to move. We have rooks, but opponent has pawns on b3 and a3. In a few moves, black will get pair of queens. We cannot stop this. What can we do? Starting with rook g7 check, king h8, rook h7 and king g8, we destroyed pawns nearer to opponent's king. Now we can try to give some checks. But what is the thing? If we play now rook c to g7, opponent's king will go to f8. We, at the moment, cannot be mating, because when we play now rook h8, the rook on g7 will be left without any defense. Otherwise, we can give the checks and make a draw. But is it the best we can achieve in this position? Or at this moment, we can play better? There are several options here for white, and I will offer you to pause the video and decide how white can improve the position and checkmate opponent's king. Our rooks need support from our pawns. We have pawns on f4, g4 and h4. Let's see what will happen if we push each of them at the moment. We can start from the h pawn, going h5, pawn b2 and h6. Now, black's promoting a queen and looks very scary, but what is the detail that pawn on h6 after rook c g7 check and king f8 moves keeps this piece protected? So already rook h8 is a mating move. We need to provide a support to our rook, importantly on g7 square. Why am I highlighting g7? Because after king g8 move in this position, if we push the g pawn, it's not gonna work out. Black will play b2, g6 and b1 promotion. Now, after rook c g7 check and king f8, rook h8 is not mating, since this rook is not protected. If we play rook f7 check, black will never go king to e8 because now rook h8 is mating. But instead of this, after the check, they will play king to g8. And now we cannot mate again. We have to repeat the moves and give a perpetual check. Whenever we go, king will stay on the squares f8, g8 and h8. For this reason, at the moment, pushing the g-pawn is not working. Now I have a question for you. What about the advancement of f-pawn? Is it gonna win or it's not? Pause the video and tell me your opinion about f5 move in this position. This is still a winning move because after b2, rook c g7 check king f8, we are able to play f6. Importantly, rook on g7 is getting protected. As we can see, black has nothing to do, and after the promotion again, rook h8 will be mating. So, using the pawns while attacking with rooks on the 7th rank is a very strong technique. Of course, instead of pawn, we can have a bishop somewhere supporting the rook, or let's say the knight. Just today we're seeing the examples when we are using the pawns. Let's now go ahead and see our next, a little more complicated position. Again, we're seeing our strong pieces on the 7th rank, but couple of more details. Black has a strongest pawn on a2, so ready to be promoted. As well, our queen on c2 now is under attack, so we need to make some concrete action. I will tell you a little secret. There is an extremely beautiful tactical idea in this position, so pause the video and try to figure it out. White is starting with an unbelievable move. Queen takes g6 check. We sacrifice our queen for a single pawn, but opened up the 7th rank. Now, playing h6 seems to be very attractive and we want to conduct our checkmate with rook g7. But suddenly black has unexpected defense. They can play rook to a7. What's the thing? That after rook g7 check, king h8, rook h7, and king g8 moves, we have to repeat, since after rook b to g7, black will have another rook on a7 controlling this square, so they will be able to take it back. That's why we need to repeat the moves, because capturing on a7 doesn't give us any value. Black can take back, rook takes, and now in the rook's endgame we have equal quantity of the pawns. For this reason, at the beginning after f takes g6, white firstly starts with rook g7 check. Now king f8, rook bf7 is mating, and after the check, if king h8, play rook h7. King g8, rook b to g7, and here is the thing. Already our rook is on the required spot, so after king f8 and h6 move, even though we are missing a queen and opponent is ready to promote another one, black cannot prevent a checkmate of rook h8 move. So this is an extremely big power of rooks on the 7th rank supported by the pawn. Now let's go ahead and you will receive your homework position. This situation is very similar to the previous ones, though it's not very easy to bring our pawns into the game and checkmate opponent's king on f8. In the meanwhile, black again has a passed pawn which is ready to be advanced, so we need to figure out what to do as white. You can share your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. Gabuzyan was here with you. Thank you for your subscriptions, likes, and sharing this video with your friends. We appreciate it a lot. I will see you next time during our next daily lessons.